Hey, I'm Nick Williams. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to go over several items. I'm going to finish out with talking about the Medicare marketing by phone program that we're going to be implementing, specifically talking about the live transfers, because that's a big deal. Agents want live transfers if you're going to be working from home. We're so again, I'm going to get into that. Before I do so, there's been some speculation about who's behind this program, who's putting this all together, and I have joined with Gordon Marketing, and Gordon Marketing is they are the company that is supporting me in this. They've employed me to specifically deliver this program to you. But let me tell you something. It's a wonderful company, and I'm happy to be with them and working with Gordon Marketing. And it gives me a lot of ability to help agents become more successful. So now more than ever, we are able to help agents become more successful. So call me. And I will say one thing: agents that work with me, that currently work with me, and this all happens very fast sometimes, and it's happening very fast right now. But agents that work with me or that don't work with me, and you want to get on board, so to speak, and it's a little bit, you could almost say premature, but today is the last day for WellCare to transfer contracts for WellCare. So uh, prior to the AEP blackout, so we want to get your contracts moved with us, and so you need to contact me today. Nick at MedicareMillionaire.com is one way you can do that. So I'm going to speak to you about the Medicare marketing by phone, but I'm going to start with something that really bugs me about many people many people that recruit agents, or agents, just the philosophy that people have about recruiting and about being in this business, or any business for that matter. And I want to start with a quote, and I'll ask you who you think said this: "Put an honest man in debt, and he'll work his way out." Does that ring a bell for anybody? And I believe that it was W. Clement Stone. I tried to Google it real fast, but I couldn't find the answer. But I'm almost positive that was W. Clement Stone. I read a book about him a long time ago, and I've read about W. Clement Stone. He started combined insurance, and he was extremely successful. It eventually became Aon, which many people are familiar with. Aon. Many people are familiar with combined. So, but com- but W. Clement Stone, the story goes that when he had an agent that he saw was going to become successful, that was experiencing some success, he would take them down to the car dealership and have them and put them in a brand new Cadillac. So, and I believe this is 100% accurate. And when he would do that, they would have to work hard to pay for that Cadillac. And it kind of put them in a mindset of being a successful person. But again, put an honest man in debt, and he'll have to work his way out. That was something that many agencies, and they still do it. I think it's wrong today. I think that was fine all the way up into the 70s and 80s, maybe even the 90s, but it's not fine today. You can't be thinking BMW out of the gate. BMW, Mercedes, Lexus is going to get you in trouble. That will get you in trouble. You need to be thinking Honda Civic, or maybe even Kia. Those Kias are sharp looking cars, and they run and run and run. I believe they have very good warranties, but it's affordable. The point is, it's not the Kia or the Civic or the Mercedes. The point is, you can't afford to get yourself in debt nowadays. It's it's too difficult. It's too expensive to establish a comfortable lifestyle while and also carry debt. You got to stay lean in your early years. Now, once you've built your business, it's fine. But out of the gate, you don't want to do that, and that is a problem. That's a big problem with in the mentality of individuals now. It's that status thing that they have, or ego, or whatever you want to call it. But also, and I worked for a career agency before, And they would say this, they would tell you, and I was a manager of a career agency. They told me, go buy a Mercedes. Yeah, I think I had an Infinity G35 at the time. They told me, go buy a Mercedes because they wanted me to have a certain image. And I did eventually go buy a Mercedes, but it was after I wrecked the G35. But let me tell you something. That G35 was an excellent car, and it was better than the Mercedes that I bought. I assure you, it was a better vehicle. From the standpoint of running that thing, I've ridden that thing for, I guess I had it for almost 3 years. Never had a problem with it. You can get a lot of these cars. You're not going to have a problem with these cars nowadays. They build these cars pretty solid, even if it is a Kia, and that will save you a bunch of money. When you buy a Honda, you're paying a premium. Now they are good cars, but you're paying a premium. I think that you'll do fine just starting off with something inexpensive, just to get you to your appointments, uh, to cargo those kids back and forth to school or get to the grocery store. That's a perfectly acceptable vehicle. All right, which talking about kids, and this isn't on my thing. I'm reading off some notes here, but talking about kids, you owe it to your kids to be successful if you have kids, or to your family, or to your spouse. So you got to be the leader, and set the standard and let them know that it's not about image. Anyhow, that's a sidebar. I have the title of this video. It says, "If you fail, you die." And I'll tell you what I mean by that. First of all, it used to be, and prior to like this industrial revolution, if you failed in your job every day, you very well may die. It's only in recent history of mankind that you could just fail and somehow stumble and fumble along and be okay. It's only in recent history that that ability exists. So you can fail, but you may not die, but it just will kill you inside. So you need to be successful. You need to work hard. And if you think about it, if you compare it to like a century ago, and that's kind of ridiculous because we're not living in a century ago. But those people worked hard. They had to get up and work to survive, work to eat. They had to survive. They had to go and get food to survive. They had to farm to survive. And so, why don't you take the approach with your business that you must survive, that you need to do this to survive? And that's how I feel. And I know that if I'm not successful, there's some flying around me. I know that if I'm not successful, that inside I will die. It's like it's not a physical thing, it's a mental thing. It would just kill me. I have to be successful, which which leads me to say, well, how would you be successful? It's just hard work. It's just hard work. If you're working hard, then you can find out what problems where the problems are. For example, if you go out every day and you're selling and you're making sales calls, then you can determine where your problems are. But if you're not out every day making sales calls or on the phone making sales calls every day, well, you may never find out what's wrong because you're not even making the mistakes necessary to learn lessons to correct to become successful. All right, let's talk about. I want to tell you one more thing before I talk about the Medicare marketing by phone. There was a manager that I had years ago, and he used to say, "The answer is more sales." And the question is, well, it's any question you have, but the answer is always more sales. The baby needs diapers, more sales. I need a better car, more sales. I need to live in a better neighborhood, more sales. So it's just a sidebar, kind of, sort of, that I find interesting or relevant. Again, it all fits together. You got to work harder, make more sales. It will take care of all the problems. More sales will fix a lot of your problems. Your spouse is cheating on you. More sales. you're going to need to pay that attorney, that divorce attorney. Anything that happens, more sales. I'm joking, but it's true. More sales. That's what you need to do. You need to focus on making more sales. That needs to be a focal point in your life. Is making more sales. You need to wake up in the morning saying, I need to make a sale today. I got to get a sale today. All right. In regards to making sales, and in regards to this Medicare marketing by phone, we individuals, agents want live transfers when they're selling by phone. And we're working. We have this program. I can't go into everything now because we're putting it all together, but we're making sure that it is a complete program with a training curriculum that that you know how to use all the tools, that you know the products that we're going to use, that you know the say the enrollment procedures, that you understand the 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 basics of Medicare that enable you to have a conversation, confidently have a conversation to make the sale. But specifically about live transfers, the problem is if we most agents when they get live transfers, they're going to fail. And I've been doing live transfers for agents. A lot of them do fail. And the reason they fail is they're not prepared. They're not ready for live transfers. So and this program will involve live transfers. But what we're doing is we are going to have a training program that makes sure that you as an agent are ready so that when you have live transfers, it's not like, oh no, you know, you don't want to learn on the fly with live transfers. Now, if you're working with in a call center, then maybe that's okay because they're going to send you maybe 10 a day, whatever, 10, 12 a day, whatever. Your phone may continuously ring. We have a live transfer agency, an agency, their basic, their fundamental or basic lead is a live transfer. And the agents do about 10 sales a week. That's on average, 10 sales a week. But they don't get paid. They don't own that business. They're not getting paid full commissions. They're not getting renewals. So that's not what you want. You want to own your business. So you need to be ready. And but let me back up. Those agents, they do get a bunch of live transfers. They don't pay for them. They're I'm not going to say they're more relaxed, but they don't really care as much. You're gonna when you start getting these live transfers, it's going to be a situation where you need to be extremely effective with your enrollment tools. You need to have your knowledge base. You need to know the products. You need to know how to uh, do search for doctors, for medicines, on these provider directories and stuff. You need to be up to speed on everything. You can't make stupid mistakes or fumble around. And then when you're fumbling and you can't get something done, you start losing confidence. And then for a lot of people, that carries through in their voice, because they get uncertain. So you need to be on top of your game. You need to have that mojo. And that's what we're trying to do with this. Well, that's what we are doing with this. And so there is going to be a training. I'll say I said a curriculum previously, a training program to get you up to speed with everything necessary in order to be effective. So listen, I'll leave you with this thought. The harder you work, the luckier you get. If you work all day, every day trying to get business, you're going to get business. You're going to get lucky. I've always found that to be true in my life, and it has never ever failed.